Basically. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Wow, this camera is very clear. Very clear. Wow. Hell yeah, iPhone catching all the details. Alright, let me take that off. Day 113. Holy crap. That's crazy. I'm really excited. So it is the 1st right now. It's 10:11 p.m. on the 1st of February. I want to start flowering. However, I also want these to get a little taller in here, and by these, I mean these guys right over here. So I want these guys to get a little bit taller, and I want to use the rest of my reservoir up. Now it's really close to being gone, which is why I'm not doing it yet. I have a feeling end of day tomorrow, Monday, end of day Monday, or I'm thinking no later than Tuesday, but probably Monday. I'm actually waiting. Last time I found out that this reservoir was out, I was kind of clipping some stuff in here, and all of a sudden my pump, I just hear it go off. It just stops working. It's like, okay. And then it starts working again. So I was like, that was weird, maybe, I don't know. So I keep clipping some leaves off. All of a sudden, goes off again. And then it starts going on again. It's like, what's going on? So I looked in, it was empty. I filled that reservoir so many times now that I kind of know where 1 gallon is, where 2 gallon is. 3, you know, I could kind of guesstimate after that. Not really. But this thing is down to the very, very top of the water pump that I have in there. And that's 2 gallons, pretty much exactly. So that thing has been drinking half a gallon a day. However, and also, so I've been using a light par of 378, 380 something, maybe at points 90 when the tent's closed. Because I thought the light was giving the plant issues. However, if you watch any of my other videos, we found out that it was the reservoir being dirty as shit, and that I actually do have to clean it weekly. However, and also, I did finally, let me actually go get it. I'm trying not to fuck everything up in the process. Oh, where is it? Yes. Okay. I did finally get it. So basically you put this in with your nutrients, and it kind of prolongs you from having to clean stuff, and it actually helps eat biofilm and keeps it from clogging up. Because I did find a clog on the second time I flushed it, and I didn't see it the first time. But the second time, there's this little brown thing in there, and I kind of got a paper towel and wiped it out, and it came out, and it was this clump of what looked like if you dipped what I imagine toilet paper into chocolate milk. It was weird. But that was like right at the switch coming straight out the reservoir. So you know, looking into it, everybody, you know, plus Autopots recommends this, and it makes sense why. This should really kind of stop that from happening, especially if I stay on top of it, and shouldn't really be too much of an issue at that point. And other than that, like, you know, just kind of figuring these weird little things out. And again, it is my first time with all this kind of thing, so I'm bound to kind of have some mistakes here and there, which I have. So when I thought the light was giving these plants issues, I didn't want to jack the light par up to, it says at veg it could take about 400 to 600 light par. Now what's cool is I have a light par meter. So this is what is known as a light par meter. Or I don't know if that's the exact name for it. I'm not, you know, I don't know. But this measures light. Now, this is cool because I have this set up again so you can actually see my iPad screen. So I'm gonna switch it over to that now. Actually, yeah. So I'm gonna switch it over to that. So all you're gonna see is what I see on my iPad. Now this is gonna, let me switch it over right now. Transition please. Okay. So now this is what I see. Actually, let me cut back to myself real quick. Now I'm gonna hold it like this. Okay? And the numbers you are gonna see at the top of the screen, actually, you know what? I'm gonna face it towards the tent. So we actually have a couple numbers to look at. You see the tent right behind me. This is facing directly at the tent, okay? Now look at these numbers. I'm gonna go back. All right. Now, if you look at the top, it says 20.9, 22.1, yada, yada, yada. Now, I am going to go, I'll just show you. I'm gonna cut back to it. Now, the way you use this is you put this at like the tip of the plants. And you kind of want to like move it around to the other tips and kind of see where the numbers are. So now I'm going to show you where these numbers are on my plant. I'm just going to cut to it, but now you see what I'm going to do with this. I'm just holding it underneath at the tips of these plants. So let's go back to the screen. All right, so now we're at about 471 here. Oh, let me move my hand. And as I move it around, 520, 535. So you can see it's getting way higher than 390. Now keep in mind when I close this tent, when I close this tent, the numbers are gonna spike. Because when you close the tent, the light bounces off everything. So it gets more than, you know, what it's just raining straight down. So when you have this tent open, you are getting rid of so much light. Very important to keep it closed. But, so the issue more recently I was having with my plants is I noticed that they were like neon green. I'm actually gonna switch to, I got a new webcam, so we're gonna switch to that and check that out. So that's pretty cool. I'm really glad that we can see my iPad. So this is how I check on my babies every day. Now I know it's not the clearest image. It is supposed to be 2K at I think 30 frames, or like 720p at 30 frames. I don't know exactly. And you know, I'll pull in the main camera in a minute and we'll get a better look at it. And then if I go to this one, so I have a different camera in there. It's not as good, but it is kind of closer to the plant. And I'm gonna put one on the other side for the other plant as well, so I can kind of just like zoom in on these things. But you know, and I'm probably gonna have one on the ground on each side so I can see if there's any kind of leak or overflowing, anything like that. I did just win a bunch of cameras in the bidding apps that I have. So I got about 4 more cameras coming. But what I was getting at earlier is my plant was having issues. I thought it was the light, so I kept the light par down to about 300. And it should have been at 400 to 600. And I found out it was the reservoir. Fixed everything, flushed everything. I should have at that point turned the lights up. I forgot to do that part. So now it's getting like mega nutrients and it's not getting the light that it needed to be able to, you know, process some shit like that. So it's kind of, you know, struggling again. And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, watching a couple of videos, it's like, oh yeah, I didn't turn the lights up, and I did. And it's really cool to just see, well, I mean, I wish I would have done it sooner, but it is cool that, you know, these were all really neon green leaves. They were still doing all right for getting half of what they should have been at. But now that I put it up to, you know, when this is closed, they're definitely getting 600 par for sure. But they are turning dark green. The leaves are getting way more razor sharp and like jagged. So like I could tell they're really like thickening up and getting really nice and healthy. So that's pretty cool to see. But again, that's another reason I'm just gonna let the reservoir go. I'm just gonna go until that reservoir's out. Once the reservoir's out, I'm gonna take it all apart, flush it, wash out the reservoir one more time, put all the nutrients back in for flower mode this time, put in some of this stuff. So hopefully, you know, I could just let it chill for at least 2 weeks, maybe longer, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell. I kind of know what to look for now, but this stuff should eat all of that. All of it says. Now granted, I'm sure there's stuff further down the lines that need attention. That might take, you know, a minute to kind of be eaten up. But I'm going to be putting this stuff in most of the time until it's time to flush all that good stuff. Let me just take you for a quick tour with the good camera while I got you here. While I got you over here. Alright. So. Yeah, and then I got some like weird weird stuff going on. But yeah, the camera, the crown's looking really nice. Now what I mean by sharp and jagged, like so you see how, well, this one's still looking really nice. What was I using before as an example? Oh, I was using this one, I think. And then you got this one that's like still a little guy. But and you can kind of see where it's darkening up. All these are starting to turn dark green. Very healthy now. Very, very healthy. Not that they weren't healthy before, they were just, they could do better. And I like seeing that there's 9 leaves on here. And some of these, not all of them. But man, these things are like, that's just out of control. But you know, like when they're all grouped together and bunched together, they're gonna get smashed up and like, man, this one is a jungle. But I just know, you know, once I start flowering, these are all gonna stretch up. I am gonna put the trellis on this thing. I'm hoping in the next day, especially, you know, getting pounded with a bunch of light now, that these things are gonna shoot up even more by the time, you know, because it might be Tuesday night at, like I said, Tuesday night at the latest, depending on how quick these things are drinking water. But I feel like now that the light's up and now that they're actually, you know, responding hard to it, that they're gonna drink the water faster. But this is the new camera, so I can actually twist it, turn it around, and get a better eye. What's cool is I got my 3D printer working again. Now, this camera comes with this stupid hookup. So you put this up and twist it, and it's supposed, like, how there's no like camera mount, like microphone camera mount on it. So I actually found one online and 3D printed it, and I 3D printed this to hold my little microphone, my DJI microphone receiver that's working right now, so that's cool. But yeah, really digging everything that's going on right now, and within the next 2 days we will be flipping this to flower, so that's really exciting. You know what, just for shits and gigs, let's go check out the reservoir. Woo. Okay, so it is not focusing. Okay, so you can see the reservoir down there, or the pump, but you can actually see the top of it. The water is kind of covering it when it bubbles sometimes, but not fully. So this will probably be gone by tomorrow night, because we're just a little under 2 gallons at that point. 2 gallons is a little over top of the pump, so I can definitely say we're under 2 gallons. So, well, let's hope for tomorrow night. Let's hope for tomorrow night, because it's still an off day for me, and I can still, you know, get stuff done with this. Let's make sure that's close. Woo! But yeah, pretty exciting. Like, those seriously are looking really good. Despite everything these things have been through, like I had a really rough start with all this stuff, and I should have done it totally different, which next time I will. And next time I'll have 2 tents up. So whether I do like 2 different kinds or I do 2 kinds, 2 of the same kind in each one, I definitely want to do Blue Dream. The other one is still up in the air. Or the other 3 are still up in the air. So how I'm gonna judge this is depending on what I get off of just like one plant. If I get a decent amount, then it's like, okay, cool, I'll try 2 different kinds in a tent. But if I get like wanting more from just one, but with 2 it's a good amount, then, you know, I'm probably gonna just do 2 of each, 2 of a kind, or 1 of a kind, 2 plants in each tent. That was confusing. I'm sorry for all of that. But yeah, you can kind of see the transition to green. There's some still that are kind of light green. There's some dark green. Some in the process of both. But this is gonna be sick, man. And I'm really excited to put the underlights on too, because I was worried about this little guy down here. I'm trying to get him to make it up here with all the rest of the family. Both of them. There's 2 little guys down here. I keep forgetting that even though these are going to be up here in a trellis, that I can always tie these up to the other branches. So, you know, and then when I have the lights coming up from underneath, or if I get them on the poles over here, because I think they come in 4s, so I can just have them in each pole, kind of like flashing the sides and all the underneath, so as not to waste. But yeah, I've been doing a pretty good job of not cutting stuff. That's about like the most I've gotten, cutting stuff off. But I'm only trying to get the leaves. I'm trying to get the leaves on the top. Stupid autofocus that will block the little guys from down below. But again, after having that epiphany, it's like, you know what? I'm not caring about it anymore. I'm just gonna let this bush up and out until it hits the trellis and kind of spread it a little bit in there. And then at that point, if I need to tie stuff up. But we're gonna fill in this little gap is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be nuts. This is gonna be nuts. So stay tuned. Wow. I'm pretty thrilled about all this. I think I had this on this side. Did I have it on this side? No, I had it on this side. Something like that. But yeah, I'm overly thrilled with the fact that whether it be 1 day, 2 days, what is going on here? 3 days. We're gonna get some flowering in. What? What's going on here? With the what's why is it so dark? It's really weird. So what I wanted to see also while I'm here, let's see if it comes through. And transition. Okay. Sorry, I forgot that you can't see me. So right there, 3D printer cam. You're the worst. My little personal note on there. But those are actually camera mounts for the cameras I won, so I could put them in my tent. So if we go to this one is on one of those mounts right now that I had already 3D printed. So I was like, you know what, I really need like 4 more of those, so at least I can have 2 on the bottom to keep an eye on the ground and make sure about overflows. Have 1 on each side at the top, and then I'm actually probably gonna have to print a couple more for the other tent once I get one. But you know, I need a 2x4 frame, so I don't. What is going on here? That's weird. Sorry, I'm gonna cut back to me now so you guys can. Oh, that's the wrong camera. I don't want that camera. We don't want that camera, man. Oh no, we don't want that camera either, man. Oh, on the note of all this fuckery happening right now, I want a controller, and it should. It should help with all these transitions and scenes that sometimes, like, I just hit the wrong thing, man. Wow, those look really good on this stream. This camera is nice. Holy shit. So yeah, so those things are gonna stretch pretty hard. But you can see they're getting plenty of oxygen from the bottom. The air domes at the bottom are giving some oxygen to the root zone, so that's cool. Everything is seemingly working pretty sweet at the moment. What is going on? Oh! Whoa! Can I change this myself? I can. I can fine tune it a little bit right now, live. I'm not doing the best job, but we're getting there. Oh! So this is, well, not that much, but that kind of is how the webcam gets. That's actually perfect right there for me. Maybe one more down, see what happens. Yeah. That's crazy how 1%, I'm sorry, a 0.5%. Whatever the light's doing for my tent now that it wasn't doing before, like, really fucking with shit. Anyways, but I digress. Wrong way. That's so cool. Sorry, I'm just really excited about all this stuff. 2 days, start flowering, and then within the first week, we should at least see some pistils forming. I should start getting some stank nasty awesomeness in here. I'm gonna have to set up my other air purifier. See how that helps. Probably not really at all. But that's the part I'm kind of nervous about. So what's cool is the first month will probably be easy to kind of like, it's not gonna be too big of a deal. However, it's gonna be that second month, probably even the first week into that second month, where these things are just gonna like start blowing up with resin production and all sorts of good stuff. So part of me wants to disconnect this air conditioner and get one more charcoal filter inline fan and replace the air conditioner with it. However, still keep the air conditioner around, because if I do need it to cool the tent, which I shouldn't. Like, the air conditioner is more gonna be for like when I get a place and there's like an 8x8 tent, and you know I got a couple lights in there and I gotta maintain a decent temperature in there. That's when that'll really come in clutch. Right now I'm using it as just kind of like a circulation fan. I'm not even using the air conditioner or the dehumidifier that it has built into it. So I could get away with using just another circulation fan, which eventually I will need for the other tent anyway. So plus that's pulling air in and bringing it into the tent, so that will also help with the surrounding air in the apartment. It'll pull that through the charcoal filter and hopefully, you know, help with the stank. But if I could get through that 2 months without like any like knocks on my door, like, hey man, this is getting out of control, or just anything like that, because at this point I put a lot of time, money, and effort into this, and I want this to at least be finished. So, you know, 2 months, once I start flipping it and count down the days, I think I'm gonna have to change how I title these videos. Dude, this is gonna be crazy. On another crazy note, I found a way for gummies to kind of work on me. Now, I do not have a good track record with gummies working. Like, I've eaten 6 bags and nothing. And I have a buddy eat 1 piece, he's higher than whatever. I don't know why it works, but it works. And I'm gonna bust that out. That's what I'm gonna do. Let me actually close this up a little bit so we can see it a little bigger. But this is gonna be me. Now, keep in mind with this video, when this happened, oh wait, hold on, there's still more screen. I want this to be perfect as possible. It's funny. So, alright, this is this morning. Now, I don't know if I'll be allowed to play this or not because it's YouTube, even though it is my own YouTube. I don't know how that works. I don't know if the sound's gonna come through. Let me see if the sound's coming through. Alright, hold on. Let me rewind this really quick. Okay. I'm gonna try to stay quiet, so I don't know if this is gonna echo. So I'm gonna mute my mic and just let this play. But real quick backstory. I'm gonna take these off, it's fucking with me. So again, I found a way to do gummies where it works for me. And the way that is you get a cup and you boil some water. You don't use a lot of it. You just use a little bit, but you pour it in this cup, put 2 gummies in there, mix it up, let it dissolve, and you got the tastiest fucking like drink. It reminded me like of a really good tea or whatever. But here, check it out. So, I drank the first cup a half hour before making this video. It's a little backstory, but then I was like, well, I'm not really feeling it. I'll just heat up some more water and we'll get this other one going. However, right as I did that, they started kicking in. Now, this is going to be the video of me making the second batch of my gummy tea. Also followed by 2 videos that I sent afterwards because I was so baked. But they are so funny. So let's see if it lets me. Ah, shit. Oh no. Oh no, that was crazy. Sorry. Got a phone call. Alright, so let's see if it lets me play this whole thing. Yeah, that's the problem with using my phone as a camera. That's when people call me. It goes crazy. Okay, so let me make sure I mute myself, and I'm gonna unmute this, and hopefully this comes through on the video. And then I'll come back in after. So hold on. I just boiled some water and poured it in here. Just this much. Just this much. But I put 2 of those gummies in here. Put 2 of them in there. I'm really excited. Now, I don't know how high I look right now. But when I was making these, I'm sorry. This is the second glass that I'm making. So I've already drank a glass of 2 worth. The same. Not a lot of water in there. Boiled. Now, I don't know how high I look. But as I was making this, they started to kick in. Now I haven't eaten anything yet. I just woke up. Not too long ago. Probably like an hour ago. Hour and a half. Maybe 2. And I can't remember about how long I drank the first cup. And I'm hungry. I just put Pop-Tarts in. I want to say I drank this like a half hour ago. But I was like, oh, I'm not feeling it. Gummies don't work on me anyway, so I'll just make another 2. However, I'm pretty sure these things are kicking in. I did rip my vape twice, but no vape ever in the history of me vaping on Crown has got me ripped like this off of 1 or 2 rips. So I'm going to assume it's the 2 gummies mixed in boiling hot water. Luckily, it's my day off, so I think I'm about to drink these other 2. But listen, that's it. It's not a lot of water. Just a little bit. Just enough to like dissolve the gummies. But I did boil that shit hot. And just kind of poured it in right on top of the 2 gummies. I just boiled. Hey man, I just wanted to let you know that I successfully made my Pop-Tarts about 15 minutes ago and they are now cold. But I'm still gonna eat them. Even my pig looks retardedly high. I'm trying to open my eyes. I'm trying. I'm trying to open my eyes. But then I was like, what is even a bunghole? I think it has to do with like a barrel for wine or alcohol. Something. Like, I don't know. I'm not like a bunghole expert or nothing. But like, if I had to guess and or assume, it would be like something on a barrel. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like something on a barrel or like, you know, something on a barrel is what I got, yeah. All right. So that was the video. It is on my face or on my YouTube. Dude, what's going on with YouTube? I'm trying to make sure the sound is coming through. On the YouTube thing I was playing. But it's saying something's gone wrong. What's gone wrong? Alright, live. We're live. Oh, something went wrong again. Tap to retry. Wow, this is weird. Really weird. Some weird stuff going on. Well, I hope that other stuff came through, because that's funny. If not, it's on my YouTube channel. Anyways, you can watch it. It's a short. It's one of the shorts. But just out of my mind, it actually worked. I was surprised. But that being said, I just woke up. I hadn't eaten anything yet. The first thing I did was make some boiling water and pour some of that stuff in there. So, yeah, it could have been part of it too. But it was very refreshing, though, to not have to blaze up, to just kind of like drink it, because I am not a fan of gummies. I think they're gross. Eating them is disgusting. Oh. However, melting them into water and pretending it's tea in my brain makes it a little easier for me to handle and tolerate and deal with. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I haven't bought gummies in a really long time, but I think that's gonna be the now plan, seeing that it works. But I just those videos to me anyway, they were so funny. I just had to send them out to everybody. Great moments in BK time. Do we want to do a quick check-in on the AC Infinity world? Is that what we want to do? We can do that. I wonder. Give me 10 seconds here to fix this. There we go. Alright, so the screen was being all stupid for a second. So let's transition into the grow tent real quick. Oh yeah, so check this out. So if you watch any of my videos, you know about the whole grow tent stuff. When does this take that off? Okay. But if you look at that, if you look at the CO2 parts per million, you will see. Just cut that to a little bigger. All right, you will see that there is a lot. 1,869. Now that number is supposed to be 600. 600 to 900. And we are at 1,870. Holy titty slops. That's friggin' crazy, man. That's freaking crazy. Like, what the heck? Like, that's not good at all. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, that's a lot. Holy shit. But, so that's something I want to show off. It's really weird. Let me actually just pull this back down, because I do want to be able to show this in here. So let me stretch this up real quick into the corners. Into the corners. There we go. There we go. Cut. All right. So now we can all see everything. So we're going to go into my grow. Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't have it. So I actually, that's funny. I turned off my AI. My AI has been turned off. So now, if you're looking where it says ventilation fan, you can see it has two, a red and a blue, basically an on and an off. But how I had to set this up was the most confusing shit. It was very weird. Let me show you. So if I hit sensor or trigger, maybe 8 times, eventually it'll, there we go. So individually, you could pick how you want things to work. They can just be on or off, or you can have it work with a sensor, or you can work on a timer, or a cycle, or a schedule. Now, if you look, this is where this is where it fucks me up a little bit. Now, normally this is reversed. Normally the high should be 58% and the low should be 53. But for whatever the fucking reason, the ventilation fans wouldn't kick on. The AI. So the reason I'm not using AI too is like the humidity starts going up, so then it turns on the ventilation to kick down the humidity. And then if you're reading, because everything it does, it says it. It just like writes it down, like turning this off for this reason, turning this on for this reason. So it's like, okay, turning on ventilation to lower humidity. Cool. So far so good. Then it gets to my humidity of 40% and keeps going down to 30. Now right away, if I was an AI, it's like, we need to be 40 to 55. Shut off. We're in 30s. No matter what's going on, shut off. We're in 30s. But it kept going down to 20%. And it's just, it made no sense. And then I'm reading what it's doing, and it says, turning up ventilation to add humidity to the tent. Like, what the fuck sense does that make? It makes zero sense. Like, I don't understand what's going on. It makes you vent the tent to get that shit out. So then I tried doing this sensor mode that you see on the screen right now. I tried doing that, and that gave me issues when I had the high at 58 and the low at 53. It was basically kind of doing the same shit. So I was like, okay, fuck it. Let me reverse it, see what happens. Boom, fix my problem. It holds it so tight now within that humidity. It never goes below 40, and I don't know if it ever hits 55. I think I've seen it hit 83 or 55 humidity. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I've seen it hit 53 humidity. I'm thinking temperature now. But that's the other thing too. The temperature is not really an issue either, because what's really cool about how it's working now is that it works in little bursts. So the top 2 oscillating fans are always going, and then everything else is kind of like not running until the humidity hits like 53%, and then this thing kicks on and tries to keep it down to like, 50 at best. But I've seen it go to like 44, 43. But the 40 to 55 is what we're looking for. So it's working out perfectly. That's exactly what I want. So I haven't seen it go over 55, and I haven't seen it go under 40. So that's working perfectly. We have a pretty clean reservoir. I just cleaned it less than a week ago right now with the water. The lights have been turned up. They're, super boost, basically. So things are pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited. Everything's starting to darken up as far as leaf color, stuff like that. But it's just crazy how I had to set this thing up so it would frickin' work. But, so let's see. So we got the other exhaust fan. See, we have this one set up, I believe, the same way. Let's go into the sensor trigger. Let's go. See, I don't even worry about the temperature. I have both of those to off. So then we scroll down. Humidity, yep, 53 on the top, 58 at the bottom. It makes no goddamn sense, but for whatever the reason, it works. So yeah, so basically this exhaust fan, I'm trying to back out, but my iPad works so good. So this exhaust fan right here, grow light is at an 8. It was at a 5, I believe. I don't care about the fans, and then the other vents. Obviously, we already saw that. But then let's look here. Oh man, my iPad sucks. So my phone is paid off, I think, in September, and my watch. I think at that point, Daddy's getting a new iPad. But let's see what time this is. 10:12. That's not bad. So yeah, you look at the blue, which is the humidity. We're at 44.7. Can you see? Yep, you can see that on the screen. Cool. 46.9. Like, let's see the lowest. This looks pretty low right here. 43.2. That's not bad. And if you look at the CO2, it was getting 1,625 parts per million. That's just by me being in here breathing. That's crazy. The inside temp, 80 degrees. So the red line is the temperature. And it's looking like that's pretty stable most of the time. But I love looking at this graph. You could really see the breakdown of everything. And you can go to the extreme highs. Like, actually. %50.9%. That's the highest. 50.9%. That's awesome. This is efficient. This is working good now. Fuck you, AI. But anytime I open the tent, stuff like that, it's kind of like a huge fluctuation. I'm trying to see. Trying to go back to when AI was controlling this thing. For a while, it was doing all right. And I don't know what happened. Something just like glitched, and then like you could see it's like pretty in control here. Like everything's kind of close to each other. 51% humidity. Oh, this was January 31st. Hold on. That's because this is how I had it set up. Duh. Let's go back a couple days. 29th, 28th. 45. Whatever. Either way, I fixed my issues that I was having, so everything's working fine now. That's the bottom line, and that's a lot of CO2 to have in a room right now. So that's not good. Yikes. But I'm looking forward to it. So the next, so either Monday or Tuesday night, we be flipping. There's no way that water is gonna last any longer than that. And let's hope that that these guys grow a little quicker, a little faster, a little better. Because it would be nice if they were a little bit taller, maybe. I don't know. Because from the way I've seen some of these things stretching, they stretch pretty hard. They stretch hard and true. So part of me is a little worried that it might be too tall. Part of me is worried that it's not tall enough. But what's cool is when you keep a goddamn journal about stuff, you know, especially for the next time you do it, especially if you get the seeds from the same people or you have some of the seeds in the same batch still, then you kind of know what to expect and you can kind of look back. But that's going to be the plan. I have a Naranja Nightmare notebook right now. It's actually filling up pretty fast. Surprisingly enough. But stay tuned because this is fucking exciting, man. This is about to flip everything. Hopefully we'll see some colors. I want to see some like purples or blues. But it just sucks because like probably won't even see any colors like the first month at least. It'd be sweeter though if it just did it right away. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited because even though this is not technically Blue Dream 100%, it is still a cross. There we go. There's still a cross between them. Blue Dream and Skittles, and Skittles is badass. Blue Dream is just a classic. So, and what's crazy is like, you know, cutting these big fan leaves off, you get some smells, you get some whiffs, and if those are any indicator of what's to come, then I'm in a pretty good place right now, because it's just man, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty friggin' excited. So, do with that what you will. Hope you're as excited as me. Because if you my buddy, obviously you're gonna get to try some. Don't think I wouldn't do that. Cause I would. I'd be like, yo man, what's up? You wanna try some of this awesome stuff? So don't mind me, I'm just kind of messing around really quick, just seeing what this stuff looks like. But again, this is from my shitty iPad screen sharing my webcam feed. So not too bad. And this is, I think, the other camera I got. That one's not great. It looks better on my end. It looks a lot better on my end. This is not doing it any justice. But, it is what it is. And this definitely looks way better on my end as well. Because this camera is actually way nicer just in general. But I just kind of wanted to see it again. Just because. But I'm really excited to get this. So the streaming thing is just like, I think 3 rows, maybe 4 buttons and each button is like its own little digital screen, and you can kind of set so I use OBS software for streaming, so I could set it up to just hit a button and it'll change the scenes, and one click kind of thing, and so that'll be kind of nice. But yeah, I can pick that up tomorrow, and I pick up the other cameras tomorrow, so that'll be cool. Set it up in the tent, and just have full access to my tent anytime now, top and bottom. Any leaks? This camera is gonna be fun to just sit at work and watch, because seriously, it doesn't show through on this live stream, but it looks really good. Even on my shitty iPad, it looks actually really good. So, and I won that in the auction for $2 also. Man, I love these auctions. Yeah. I got a couple of my buddies hip to them, and they haven't looked back. You can find hell of a deal on just about anything, and everything, pretty much. So, anyway, getting way off topic. I just wanted to do a stream. I'm just really excited. About to start flowering in a day or two. This is crazy. It hasn't all sunk in yet, and I do want to get this tent closed so it can absorb all the light possible within the next couple days. I want it to be as healthy as it can be. Again, I think I just boosted the light up 2 days ago, maybe 3 at the most, and it's just hardying up. It's just oh yeah, this is what we were waiting for. Fill us up. So, but I just had to get it streaming there. My own ness. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm getting kind of hungry. You guys have a good night and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The good kind of night. The best kind of night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might still be kind of froed off those gummy beverages. Let's see. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna call it. Damn, I can't believe an hour? 54 minutes? Jesus. The fuck was I even talking about? Maybe I've been streaming some shit that I wasn't aware about. Yikes. Yikes. Later.